Magandang araw mga kasipnayan! Welcome to Sir Ocnic's YouTube channel. In this video, we will identify the quartile of a group data. In determining the quartiles from a group data in the form of frequency distribution, consider the formula Qk is equal to LQk plus quantity Kn over 4 minus CFB all over FQk times I, wherein LQk is the lower class boundary of the quartile class. CFB refers to the sum of the frequencies before the quartile class. FQk is the frequency of the quartile class. N is the total frequency. And I is the class size. Given the frequency distribution of the scores obtained by 45 students in a mathematics class in a 100-item test, solve for Q1, Q2, and Q3. Let us first identify the total number of frequencies based on the frequency distribution. We have 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 9 plus 10 plus 5 plus 8, which is equal to 45. Let us now accomplish the cumulative frequency row. We will have 3 plus 4, which is 7, plus 6, which is 13. Following the same process, we will then have 22, 32, 37, and 45. For the lower class boundary for each interval, we will have 9.5, 21.5, 33.5, 45.5, 57.5, 69.5, and 81.5. Solving for the first quartile using the formula k times n all over 4, we will have 1 times 45, which is the total frequency, all over 4, which is equal to 11.25. That means that the first quartile lies on the 11.25th score of the distribution. Let us now identify the quartile class. Since we have 11.25, that means that the quartile class is at 34 to 45. 34 to 45 will now be the basis of our quartile class. The lower class boundary of 34 to 45 is 33.5. The sum of the frequencies before the quartile class is 7. FQk, which represents the frequency, is 6. The nth quartile is 1. The total frequency is 45. And the class size is equal to 12. There are 12 scores from 22 to 33 and for all the class intervals. Using the given values, let us now substitute in the formula. We will then have Q sub 1 is equal to 33.5 plus the quantity 11.25, which is the first quartile, minus 7 all over 6 times 12. Simplifying the numerator, we will then have 33.5 plus 4.25 all over 6 times 12. Simplifying the fraction, that is equal to 33.5 plus 0.71 times 12, which is equal to 8.52 plus 33.5, which is equal to 42.02. Therefore, our first quartile is at 42.02. Solving for the second quartile, where k is equal to 2, that will be 2 times 45 all over 4, which is equal to 22.5. That means that the second quartile lies on the 22.5th score. Let us now identify the quartile class using our frequency distribution. The 22.5th score lies on the class interval 58 to 69 with a cumulative frequency of 32. As our basis, the lower class boundary is 57.5. The cumulative frequency before the quartile class is 22. The frequency is equal to 10. The end quartile is 2. The total frequency is still 45. And the class size is equal to 12. Using the same values, substitute to the given formula, we will have q sub 2 is equal to 57.5 plus 22.5 minus 22 all over 10 times 12. Simplifying the numerator, that is equal to 0.5 all over 10, which is equal to 0.05 times 12 is equal to 0.6. Add it to 57.5. We will then arrive at 58.5, which means that the second quartile is at 58.1. For the third quartile, where k is equal to 3, we will have 3 times 45 all over 4, which is equal to 33.75, meaning that the third quartile lies on the 33.75th score. Let us now identify the quartile class. Third quartile class. 33.75th score lies on 70 to 81 interval, which has a frequency of 5, lower class boundary of 69.5, sum of the frequencies before the quartile class is 32, frequency of 5, and quartile is 3, total frequency of 45, and the class size of 12. Using the same values, let us now substitute to the formula. That is equal to q sub 3 is equal to 69.5 plus 33.75 minus 32 all over 5 times 12. Take note that 33.75 is kn over 4 of the third quartile. Simplifying the numerator, that is equal to 1.75 all over 5, which is equal to 0.35 times 12, which is equal to 4.2 added to 69.5. The result will be 73.7. That means that quartile 3 lies, or quartile 3 is at 73.7. Problem number 2. The following table shows the number of plants in a house at a certain barangay in Tondo, Manila during the pandemic. Solve for quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. Given the frequency distribution, let us identify the cumulative frequency. We will have 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Plus 3 is equal to 12. Plus 4 is equal to 16. Plus 7 is 23. Plus 3 is 26. And plus 4 is equal to 30. That also means that our n, or the total frequency, is 30. Let us now identify the lower class boundary. The first lower class boundary is negative 0.5, 2.5, 5.5, 8.5, 11.5, 14.5, and 17.5. Let us now identify the location of the first quartile. Using the formula k times n over 4, where k is equal to 1. That is 1 times 30 all over 4, which is equal to 7.5. 7.5 now, that means that the first quartile lies on the 7.5th score. The 7.5th score lies on the class interval 3 to 5. This will now be our first quartile class. Let us now identify LQK, which is equal to 2.5. Cumulative frequency before is 4. The frequency of the quartile class is 5. The end quartile is 1. The total frequency is 30. And the class size is 3 because there are 3 scores or 3 numbers of lands from 3 to 5. Using the same values, let us now solve for the first quartile by substituting to the given formula. That is equal to Q sub 1 is equal to 2.5 plus the value of Kn over 4 a while ago, which is 7.5, minus 4 all over 5 times 3. Simplifying the numerator, 7.5 minus 4 is equal to 3.5. Divided by 5, that is equal to 0.7 times 3, which is equal to 2.1, plus 2.5 is equal to 4.6. That means that quartile 1 is at 4.6. Let us now solve for quartile 2, using Kn over 4 where K is equal to 2. That is equal to 2 times 30 all over 4, which is equal to 15. That means that the second quartile lies on the 15th score. The 15th score lies on the class interval 9 to 11. This will now be our quartile class. The lower class boundary of our quartile class is 8.5. The cumulative frequency before the quartile class is 12. The frequency is 4. K is equal to 2. The total frequency is still 30. And the class size is still 3. Using these values, let us now solve for the second quartile. Substituting to the formula, we will then have Q sub 2 is equal to 8.5 plus the value of Kn over 4, which is equal to 15, minus 12 all over 4 times 3. 15 minus 12 is equal to 3. 3 divided by 4 is equal to 0.75 times 3, which is equal to 2.25. 2.25 plus 8.5 is equal to 10.75. Let us now solve for the third quartile. Using Kn over 4, wherein K is equal to 3, that is equal to 3 times 30 all over 4, which is equal to 22.5. That means that the third quartile lies on the 22.5th score. The 22.5th score lies in the interval 12 to 14. The lower class boundary of our quartile class is now 11.5. The sum of the frequencies before is 16, the frequency is 7, and K is equal to 3. The total frequency is still 30, and our class size is 3. Using these values, let us now substitute to the formula to solve for the third quartile. That is equal to 11.5 plus 22.5, which is the value of Kn over 4 a while ago, minus 16 all over 7 times 3. 22.5 minus 16 is equal to 6.5. 6.5 divided by 7 is equal to 0.93. 0.93 times 3 is equal to 2.79. 2.79 plus 11.5, that is equal to 14.29. That means that the third quartile is 14.29. Let us now summarize what we have discussed. In determining the quartiles from a group data in the form of frequency distribution, consider the formula Q sub k is equal to LQK plus quantity Kn over 4 minus CFB all over FQK times I, wherein LQK is the lower class boundary of the quartile class, CFB is the sum of the frequencies before the quartile class, FQK is the frequency of the quartile class, N is the total frequency, and I is the class size. Let us now check your knowledge. The following table shows the scores obtained by 50 students of grade 10 mathematics class in a 50-item test. Complete the table and solve for Q sub 1 and Q sub 3. Do not forget to pause this video while you are trying to answer the activity. Good luck! Let us now discuss your work. Let us first identify or fill in the cumulative frequency row. We will have 6 plus 6 equals 12 plus 11, which is 23, plus 7 is 30, 39, 43, and 50. The lower class boundary of our first class interval is equal to 6.5, 12.5, 18.5, 24.5, 30.5, 36.5, and 42.5. Solving for the first quartile, using kn over 4 wherein k is equal to 1, that is equal to 1 times 50 all over 4, which is equal to 12.5. The first quartile lies on the 12.5th score of the frequency distribution. The 12.5th score lies inside the class interval 19 to 24. This will now be our quartile class. The lower class boundary of our quartile class is 18.5, CFB is equal to 12, FQK is equal to 11, K is equal to 1, N is equal to 50, and I is equal to 6. Using these values, let us now substitute to the formula. We have Q sub 1 is equal to 18.5 plus the value of Kn over 4 a while ago, which is 12.5 minus 12 all over 11 times 6. 12.5 minus 12 is equal to 0.5. 0.5 divided by 11 is equal to 0.05. 0.05 times 6 is equal to 0.3 plus 18.5 is equal to 18.8. That means that quartile 1 is equal to 18.8. Solving for the third quartile using k is equal to 3, we will have 3 times 50 all over 4, which is equal to 37.5. The third quartile lies on the 37.5th score of the frequency distribution. The 37.5th score lies in the class interval 31 to 36. This will now be our quartile class. Using this interval, using our class, LQK is equal to 30.5, CFB is equal to 30, frequency is equal to 9, K is equal to 3, total frequency is equal to 50, and I is equal to 6. Using these values, let us now substitute to the given formula. That is equal to q sub 3 is equal to 30.5 plus the value of kn over 4, which is equal to 37.5 minus 30 all over 9 times 6. Simplifying the numerator, 37.5 minus 30 is equal to 7.5. 7.5 divided by 9 is equal to 0.83. 0.83 times 6 is equal to 4.98. 4.98 plus 30.5 is equal to 35.48. That means that q sub 3 is equal to 35.48. Thank you for watching Sir Ocnic's YouTube channel. If you think that this video is a big help, hit like, feel free to share, and do not forget to subscribe. Always have fun in learning math. Enjoy learning! Thank you and God bless.